Hey, I'm Mac. First off, thank you to everybody who has subscribed and watched and left awesome comments. I really appreciate it. And I enjoy reading everything that you guys have to say. It's been really fun ever since my channel kind of exploded, and I just wanted to let you all know how much I appreciate you. And also, I was like stalled out at like 950 subscribers for a while there. And Savannah Marie was so nice. She was so awesome to shout me out. And that gave me like a huge shove over 1K. So thank you, Savannah. That was awesome. And I so appreciate that as well. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. You know, let's keep this going. On my previous video, the response to is anti-MLM anti-woman, it was pointed out in a comment that one of the exceptions to the all-male founders is Mary Kay. I cannot believe I forgot about Mary Kay. And then I realized I don't know very much about Mary Kay. So I thought I would go through and then present some background and history of Mary Kay, some information about the structure and business model of Mary Kay, and then we'll use the structure and the business model as a springboard into some interesting and quite damning mathematical realities about the company and its distributor program, and some interesting dirt they've perhaps unintentionally disclosed when fighting against proposed regulations. And that'll also be a nice opportunity to have a broader discussion about the political influence and political clout that MLMs have. And then we'll see what we can do to reverse engineer an income disclosure statement, because Mary Kay does not put out an income disclosure statement, and they're also a private company. So unlike a publicly traded company, you don't really have access to as many numbers or reports from them. But Daddy's got the numbers and the math to blow the doors off this thing, and we'll know as much as we need to know. All right, so let's get into it. Mary Kay was founded in 1963 by this woman, Mary Kay Ash, in Dallas, Texas. It first opened with a storefront, and in its first year of business, it had 318 consultants, and they finished the year with $198,154 in sales. That is equivalent to about $1.7 million today. So it was a pretty immediate success, at least in terms of selling products to consultants. It grew extremely quickly. One of the signature icons of Mary Kay first came into being in 1968 when Mary Kay Ash requested that a Cadillac Coupe de Ville be custom painted to match the Mountain Laurel shade of blush. Not the Mountain Yanny shade of blush. Mountain Laurel, okay? Okay. And in 1970 is when Mary Kay Ash first introduced the custom pink Cadillac as a reward for the top 5 consultants in the company. So the way that works is that consultants lease the vehicle for 2 years, and the company, depending on like the rank and performance, pays a certain amount of the lease as long as your sales are up. And I guess since then they've added a wider variety of cars, and they aren't all pink, and like the shade of pink on the pink cars has changed, but that is still a benefit they do today, although you do have an option to just take the cash, which is what I would do, but whatever. I would not want someone picking out which cars I'm allowed to have, okay? So by 1991, Mary Kay has a revenue of $500 million and 200,000 consultants. That's nearly $1 billion today. And in 1995, They moved into a new headquarters in Addison, Texas, which is just outside of Dallas. Holy shit. It's literally a pyramid. It's literally a pyramid. I can't. That's unbelievable. Oh boy. Anyway, and today Mary Kay has a revenue of $3 billion and 3.5 million consultants worldwide. So let's investigate what's the structure of the pyramid that we are embarking on when we begin our Mary Kay journey. So you start off as an independent beauty consultant. The only way you can earn any money at this rank is by selling your Mary Kay inventory at a 50% profit. So you buy it at wholesale, and you're supposed to sell it at twice the wholesale price, retail, and then you keep the difference, which it's important to point out, that's not a commission. You don't have to buy a product that you're selling on commission. A commission is an amount paid to you by the company that is directly tied to the amount of the sale, but it is not, it is paid from the company to you, because the customer is paying the company for the product, not you, because the product isn't owned by you. You don't have to buy a product that you're selling on commission. Like, you don't have to buy it first. Like, that's not how normal sales jobs work. So once you start building a team, meaning you recruit people, you can start earning commission, which is you earn a percentage of your personal team. At first, you just earn a percentage of your personal team's wholesale orders. So certainly no pressure on your downline to order more inventory. No, there's totally not a conflict of interest there. So when you're at these four ranks, which are senior beauty consultant, star team builder, team leader, and elite team leader, you can still earn that 50% profit off of retail sales. Well, you could if anyone wanted to buy it at retail, which they don't. And then you can also, depending on how large your team is, you can earn 4 to 13% on your personal team's wholesale orders. So I'm just going to keep a running total here going, that of how much the total commission a rank earns. So if you keep earning commissions on wholesale orders, like if you earn 13% from your personal team and 13% from another part of the company, that means that like that much of the product prices are being eaten up by the person at this rank. So I'm going to keep that going. So at these four levels, you have a maximum total commission of 13% happening, because it's 13% off of your personal team orders. So then you can rank up to the director ranks, which include sales director and senior sales director. And don't worry, the titles are going to get progressively more insane And you reach this level when you build up a team that is large enough with enough wholesale volume, and also some of your team members have to rank up themselves. So at this level, you still can earn the 50% profit from retail sales, and then you can still also earn that 4 to 13% commission on your personal team's orders. But then on top of that, you can also earn anywhere from 9 to 23% on your units wholesale orders, which means your unit is your personal team plus everybody else that is in your downline from there. So that means like if you have another like star team builder or whatever the hell, you also earn off of their wholesale orders, even though they're not in your personal team, like you didn't recruit them personally yourself. So it's people in your downline that you didn't personally recruit and that also aren't like sales directors or whatever. But if you rank up to that senior sales director, then you can also earn a 5 to 6% commission on your first line offspring, which means that if someone under you has ranked up to being a sales director as well, you can get 5 to 6% on that entire downline too. So we're starting to add up. So at the top of these ranks, you could potentially earn a total commission of 42% on these wholesale orders going on underneath you. So let's move on up. I just know it. I have a vision, and that vision is a vision of, closets and boxes full of Mary Kay products that I couldn't sell, but at least, I'll be an executive director. So the two ranks that the next group of ranks is the executive senior director and the elite executive senior director. So, and it's going to build on this. We get 50% profit off retail sales plus a 4 to 13% commission on our personal team's wholesale orders plus a 9 to 23% commission on our unit, which we defined. And then we get 7% on our first line offspring. And then on top of that, we get 1 to 2% on our second line offspring. So that is like if there's a sales director under our first line offspring sales director. So the pyramid's getting really long at this point. And that means that we could be potentially earning a total commission from different pieces of wholesale orders of up to 44%. It's getting to be a pretty big chunk. And then the next group of ranks are the national directors, all right? Or the NSDs. I think they use that acronym a lot. And these ranks include, these are wild, I love it. These ranks are national sales director, and this next one, I shit you not, when I made my what if normal jobs were like MLMs video, I did not know that this was a real Mary Kay rank. All right, you ready? The the executive senior national director it's real. The elite executive national director and the elite executive senior director.
Slash sale coming through. Executive senior national director coming through.
So, for this rank, you can earn that 50% profit off of retail sales, 4 to 13% off your personal team orders. All right, 13% unit commission, right? So, and then you get 9% off of your first line offspring, 2% off of your second line offspring. And then you also get another 10% on top of what you already earned for your personal unit. So not only do you get that 13% unit commission, you get another 10% off of your unit. So you get a total of 23%. And you also this is where you can just tell that like it's a pyramid scheme. You also just get 2% off of the top 10 units in the Mary Kay company. Like, even if they're completely unrelated to you, you just get it. They just give it to you. So you would be earning commission of a total of 53%. Yeah. I mean, I know what I'm thinking. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Like, how the fuck do we join? Am I right? Well, in order to start a Mary Kay business, you got to purchase a starter kit, which is $100. So, cool. Sounds pretty affordable. I mean, it's not every day that you find a job that you can start for just $100, is it now? But, kind of the catch is you can't get that that wholesale price, that 50% discount, unless you place a $225 order every 3 months, which qualifies you as active. All right. So you know how you're supposed to make that 50% profit? Well, you can't make that unless you place a $225 order every 3 months, because otherwise you have to pay Mary Kay the full retail price for your product. So if you want to make any money at all, you got to make that order or else you can't get the wholesale price. So awesome. Now, what I thought would be interesting is, since we know all those commission levels, let's see if we're a bottom level independent consultant, how much of that $225 is basically a donation to each rank of our upline. Like, if we're assuming that our direct upline is just the next rank above us, so we have a full like upline going up, let's examine, all right? So that means we spend $225 to become active. And each level I'm going to be giving a range, because some of the levels it's like 4 to 13%. So I got to give the full range. So when you place that $225 order, $9 to $30 of it is going in the pocket of the person who recruited you, that red jacket consultant. $13.50 to $65.25 are going in the pocket of the sales director upline from you. $18.25 goes to the executive director in your upline. And anywhere from $31.50 to $36 is going to that national director upline from you, who you probably don't even fucking know. So basically, when you start your Mary Kay business and you become active, you're donating anywhere from $72.25 up to $149.50 to a bunch of people in your upline. Like, that's basically what's happening. You're paying like $75 for some products, and then you're just giving a bunch of people that money and splitting it up. So, and this is what's so dodgy. Somehow that required order of $225 that is supposedly a $450 value has been marked up 198% before being sold to you at a fake wholesale price of $225 before they tell you to mark it up another 100% before attempting to sell it for that retail price. Because if all of this is, if that much of the price of the product is going to upline commissions, that means it was already marked up 198%. It actually costs like $75, and then they charged you $225 for it, and then they're telling you to charge someone else $450 for it, because the prices aren't relevant because the product doesn't matter. Let's be real. I mean, not that this retail price is even relevant. A massive red flag is that Mary Kay does not even keep track of the amount of retail sales that are happening. They don't keep records of it. So they don't even know how much retail sales there are. No idea. Let me just give you a piece of advice when you're selecting a company to work for. It is in your best interest to work for a company that has an interest in you succeeding at the workplace, that has an interest in you succeeding in the business. And in business, that means there needs to be a monetary component to it. With this setup, Mary Kay has absolutely no financial interest in you succeeding to make retail sales. It only has a financial interest in you placing wholesale orders, because that's all they profit from, and that's all they even track. They don't even keep it. Your retail sales are so irrelevant to them that they don't even keep records of them. If a company's bottom line is affected by something, they're going to track it, and they're going to have metrics and data about it to run reports on it. They just will. And if the retail sales mattered, they would have data about that, about which products sell well, which products sell at different times of year, which products sell in different geographies. And they would be providing that data to the independent consultants when they start, so that they could ensure that you're not ordering the wrong products and wasting a bunch of time and money. Because if they gave a shit about your retail sales, they would make sure that happens. Companies are really good at crunching data about sales, but Mary Kay doesn't, because they don't care. They do not give a flying fuck whether you sell every single product that you get in that $225 order, or whether you stuff it in a shoebox under your bed or fill your entire garage with it. They do not give a shit. If you sell every piece of that order, Mary Kay makes $225 in revenue. If you don't sell any of it, guess what? Mary Kay makes $225 in revenue. Furthermore, nobody is ever going to buy this product. No one has ever bought them before. No one's ever going to. Explain this to me. Who is going to want to go through the process of ordering from you, the Mary Kay consultant, when they could go to a store or shop online for a much bigger selection at better prices and higher quality, where they can actually just purchase the product without you desperately trying to get them to sign up to be a consultant, instead of just letting them buy what they want to buy, because you do it. And even if there were someone that obsessed with Mary Kay who wasn't already a consultant, Mary Kay products are totally cheap and readily available on Facebook Marketplace or eBay. Let's take a look here, okay? Look at this, okay? eBay. The famous Time-Wise Miracle Set. The suggested retail price is $110. Here we go. Let's see. Okay. We got $30, $17, $21.49. It's the exact same product, and it's new, everything. Okay. That's because the market has spoken, and the supply is vastly greater than the demand is or will ever be. No one is gonna buy it from you for $110. That's not gonna happen. Nobody. Especially not when, in order to buy that $110 product from you, they have to suffer through you pressuring them to join and become a part of their downline every single time. And it's every single time. If you do have a retail customer, you know that there is not a single retail customer that you do not try to pressure into becoming a consultant every single time they buy from you, and you know it. So, while the United States operation of Mary Kay provides neither an income disclosure statement nor any really useful information, the Canadian organization provides at least some information on the numbers. even if it's not like a full income disclosure statement. It's a little bit sparse. These numbers, in what I'm learning is true Mary Kay fashion, don't even try to hide the fact that Mary Kay doesn't consider the 50% profit to actually be real, as all of this is only the actual earnings, the real earnings, which is the commissions that you make off of your downline's wholesale orders. So what do we got here? Okay. Well, 83.137% of Mary Kay participants were not eligible to earn any commissions. Oof. So all you'd be able to earn is that 50% quote unquote profit. I mean, and granted, I'm sure you have people battering down your door to buy your overpriced shit. You know, wouldn't you like commissions? All right, well, this next rank up here must be where the ballers are. Okay, so 15.138% were in the ranks above the bottom level, but below the sales director, and they earned an average of $206 annually, which is an incredible, super high, really generous 10 cents an hour in commissions on their downlines orders. So remember though, in order to be eligible for commission, you need to spend $225 at least once every 3 months, because you got to stay active, which means this is actually a loss of $694 a year unless you're making a shitload of retail sales, which you aren't, so let's be real. 1.675% were in the sales director position, earning an average of $20,137 after working with Mary Kay for 4 years. 4 years. So you work for Mary Kay for 4 years and you ruin all your friendships and you're earning $20,137 a year. 4 years. 4 years. 4 years and $9.68 an hour. $9.68. I mean, it's, you know, I don't know how they do things in Canada, but okay, well, what if something happens, you know, and there's like a tear in the universe and you rank up again? So that's 0.05% are at the national sales director level. They earn pretty good money though. That's an average of $124,072 a year. I mean, you got to work there for 15 years, but I guess that's pretty good money. So let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can have any fun with these numbers. So there's approximately 35,000 Mary Kay consultants in Canada. So if we multiply everything out, that means that 29,098 were ineligible for commission. And the only way you can make any money is at the 50% profit. So that means that you can only earn whatever amount you buy in wholesale. So if you buy $500 wholesale and somehow you manage to sell all of it, your earnings, your profit is $500. So whatever someone's claiming they're making at this level, they have to be also making that much in wholesale orders, because that's your only source of profit, because you don't make commission. So the total number of people at that next level, it's 5,298 people, making $206 and losing an average of $694 if they're taking into account expenses. Let's see here. Okay, so if it's 5,298 and it's 206 on average, let's multiply that out and we get 1,091,388. So let's see here. If that's from a 4% commission on your personal team, your team needs to be generating anywhere from $12,126,533 in wholesale orders, or it could be as much as $27,284,700 in wholesale orders. let's take that top number and let's divide that by the number in the downline ranks, and we get $27,284,700 divided by 29,098 downline consultants, and we get that is $935 a year, which is remarkably close to that required order of $225 every 3 months, which is $900 a year. Interesting. Grotesque, isn't it? Oh. There, it's pretty shameless. Honestly, that's my understanding of Mary Kay at this point. Shameless. And remember how I said that today Mary Kay globally has a revenue of $3.5 billion and 3 million consultants? If you divide that out, that's $857 per consultant, which again is remarkably close to that $225 every 3 months. It's almost $900 a year, which is, it's just kind of gross. Now, I ran across this interesting filing. Well, it was a letter that Mary Kay sent to the FTC in 2006. I was reading about it in coverage that I was reading on pinktruth.com, which is an excellent source exposing Mary Kay. Highly recommend. And I felt that giving the background here would also be a good opportunity to explain why I have the type of content that I have on my channel and why I focus more on certain types of activism over others. So let's go over the backstory here on the issue that led Mary Kay to send this letter. In 2006, the FTC proposed a new rule called the Business Opportunity Rule. This regulation would have required disclosure of average incomes, disclosure of any legal actions against the company, refund provisions, a list of reference material, and provision of a 7-day waiting period or cooling off period before investment into the company. All of that would have been required to be provided when a new prospect is recruited. In response to this proposed rule, the Direct Selling Association got over 15,000 MLM members and 84 members of Congress to write letters opposing this new rule to the FTC. In response to all of this pushback from the industry and from MLM members, the FTC in 2008 changed the proposed rule to exempt multi-level marketing companies from being covered by this rule, just as was requested by the industry's lobbying group, the Direct Selling Association, including one of its members, Mary Kay. This is just one example of the enormous amount of political power and influence held by multi-level marketing. So it's not that I don't focus on trying to propose bills or regulations because I'm not motivated or because I'm not an activist. It's because I sincerely believe it is a waste of time and resources that would be more effectively spent elsewhere. It is my belief, based on observations and based on the historic precedents, that it is extremely unlikely that we will see any meaningful laws or regulations of any kind against multi-level marketing passed, at least in my lifetime. While I respect the initiative and the motivation and the drive to try for political solutions to the problem and legislative activism, I don't think that they're effective uses of time. In fact, I would say that my reaction videos do more to prevent people from joining multi-level marketing companies than trying to get the FTC or legislative bodies to do anything about it does. At least in my videos, there's a chance. In fact, I know it's happened a few times already because people told me that someone might see one or more of my videos and later hear an MLM pitch and think, hey, that sounds like what I heard on that YouTube video. I remember because it was so funny and he totally showed why they were so full of crap. But, don't believe me about the political impossibilities here? Betsy DeVos is the daughter-in-law of Richard DeVos, the founder of Amway. Speakers at Amway events have included George H.W. Bush, Ronald Reagan, Gerald Ford, Bob Dole, Dan Quayle, Newt Gingrich, and a lot of VIPs at the Republican National Convention regularly go on a cruise on the DeVos yacht. In 2000, the number 2 soft money contributor to the Republican Party was Amway. They were $500 short of the number 1 contributor, Enron. That was a very 2000 sentence, by the way. In 2000, George W. Bush appointed Timothy Muris to head the FTC, and his previous job was an attorney for Amway. And in 2004, Timothy Muris left the FTC to begin a new job at a firm representing Primerica. Oh, and in 2004, the George W. Bush campaign received $4 million from Amway. It goes on and on and on. That is the tip of the iceberg. They are incredibly politically connected. It's just not gonna happen. But let's go back to Mary Kay. In their argument in this letter about why they shouldn't have to disclose average incomes or do anything to prevent geographic saturation, Mary Kay states that the record-keeping requirements, this is incredible, the record-keeping requirements would be too much because they have 40,000 new consultants every month. $40,000 every month. That is 2.4 million a year. What? Because they only have 700,000 consultants in the US. But they're going through 2.4 million a year. Think of that level of turnover. Usually, if you have that level of turnover, things aren't great at the company. Although if you're at the top, I guess they are. Because that's $240 million in revenue just from starter kits. That's $780 million if they buy the starter kit and that first $225 order. That's over $1 billion if they make 2 of those $225 orders trying to claw their way up the pyramid. So actually, 2.4 million in turnover every year sounds pretty good to the people at the top. That's because that's a pyramid scheme. That's right. Mary Kay's a pyramid scheme. It's a pyramid scheme. You don't get paid based on any retail sales. In fact, Mary Kay gives so little of a fuck about them, they don't even keep records of them. That's insane. Don't ever work with a company that doesn't even keep track of retail sales. All right? Don't. Okay. So, what have we learned? All right? Mary Kay, pyramid scheme, you're gonna lose. All right? Pyramid scheme in a pyramid in Dallas. I've been Mac. Peace out. Bye!
Come on, baby, don't you leave me brokenhearted. Want you over here, come and get me started. Love me, kiss me, sex me, miss me. Baby, baby, pour some sugar from that. Baby, baby, pour some sugar from that. Baby, baby, pour some sugar from that.